What if everything you believe about yourself is a lie? What if I was to tell you that that self-doubt, those limitations, that anxiety, that procrastination that you have is not real, but it's coming from the story that you created about yourself, your identity story? You might say I'm crazy, but this is exactly what a university at Cambridge tried to demonstrate, and the result is going to blow your mind. It was so powerful, in fact, that they're calling this study the winner effect experiment. And what it shows about your brain and your body and how you create your reality is going to blow your mind. Simply put, they discovered that your body doesn't respond to reality. It responds to the perceived reality, meaning the story, the interpretation, the meaning that you create about something or your path or whatever event you're going through right now. Your body, your mind respond to the story, the interpretation that you create about that thing. So what does that really mean? Well, let me tell you about the experiment that they did and what they find out and why this is so important, right? So what they wanted to do basically is to do a little bit of a cover experiment. They took a group of men, okay, and they split them in groups of two. And what they told them is very simple, very straightforward. Okay, we're gonna put you in competition head to head. There is a rowing machine, right? Like at the gym that you can find a rowing machine. And all you have to do is do your best to win. What we're gonna measure is how your body responds. Right? So we want to capture your heartbeat, blah, 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 all those indicators. And we just want to see what happens, during the effort. But that was bullshit. What they really wanted to find out was how the body responds the moment they're being told they are winning or they won, basically, right? In fact, they didn't care who win. They pre-selected the winner. And funny enough, in many of those cases, the winner actually lost. But regardless, they told him, you won, congratulations, and so on, right? And then they wanted to see what happens next. Is there any difference in the psychology of the person, in how the person show up, work, and so on, but also in the biology, in the belief? Is there any changes? And what happens next is amazing, because instantaneously testosterone levels spiked up. What does that mean? It means the person felt more confident, bolder, more willing to take risky approach or actions or decisions. The person performed better at different tasks and so on that they were given afterward, including approaching and talking to attractive women. And on top of that, the person reported feeling more confident, more attractive. So there was a biological and psychological effect in a shift of how the person saw themselves, how they were interacting, what they were doing, and what they were willing to do or not, simply from being told they won a stupid rowing competition that literally doesn't matter. So what is the inside there? Well, the reality is that the person lost. So he's not better than the other guy and so on. So in terms of fact and actual result, that person lost. And it's the case for not only that one person, but many person in the group, right? So what the person literally responded to was the story, what he was told, but also what he believed, because it's the moment the person believed, oh, freaking hell, I won, kind of thing, right? That's when the testosterone went up. That's when all that energy, that confidence, all of that potential was allowed to be expressed because of the state that was created from being a winner, right? So what does that really mean in your life, and why is that so important? Because it shows us again how your body responds not to reality, but what you tell your body, what you believe about reality. And this is a massive difference, because a lot of people work with a lot of limiting, negative, belittling stories, meaning the inner critic is always on, meaning they always put themselves down, meaning they lack the confidence, they lack the self-esteem, meaning they don't have that winner attitude, or if they do, it's short-lived in spikes, or when I achieve that success, or when I feel worthy, or when I earn this, or in those types of situations. But what would happen if you started to believe and create that winning effect in your life every day? What if you started to live in this I'm confident, I'm worthy story? Because think about this, if your body is able to change your hormones level, change your immune response, change your energy simply from being told you won a rowing competition, what would happen if you can consistently maintain that story? But think of the opposite. What happens when you constantly feel like you're not enough, when you're constantly under stress, when you constantly feel unattractive and lesser and not good enough and stupid and this end that? What happens when you leave that story of limitation? What is the cost on your body, but also what is the cost psychologically? What is the cost in the action, the decisions, and what you allow yourself to do in your life? So you see, our life is a reflection of our stories, the story we created about ourselves. The biggest mistake people do is that we wait for reality to change before my story, meaning my self-talk, how I see myself, change, meaning when I make the money, when I'm successful, when my business is growing, when I'm nailing the job, when I get the promotion, when a client signs, when I get into this beautiful relationship, whatever, right? Then I'll feel worthy, then I'll feel good enough, then I'll be okay, then I'll be safe, then I'll be free, then I can expand the way I think and feel about myself. But this never happens, because we all know that the moment you chase and you get something, very fast after that, you're chasing the next thing. It's like an addict, right? You need the next thing to reinforce, to give you that feeling again. Why? Because you lack that in yourself. You haven't mastered that quality, and so many people are lacking that winning feeling, if we look at this experiment. But that's really that feeling of self-worth, of importance, of I feel good about myself, right? And so we use all kind of means and vehicles and goals and desires and Louis Vuitton bag and all this crap to try to get that feeling, to try to get that attention, that external approval, whatever it is that will make us feel good, worthy about ourselves. But what if, instead of letting reality dictate how you see yourself, what if you started using the most powerful tool you have, meaning your mind, the story you create about yourself, and choose the meaning, the story about who you are. Choose that I am a winner now. Choose to look at all your past experiences when you won, all the things you achieve, all the little things that you can take as a reference if you need to reinforce that story. Because all of us have a massive pool of experience of things we achieve, things we overcome, adversity we changed, to reaffirm that we're strong enough. But often we look at our shortcoming, we look at what's lacking, what's missing, what we don't have in our life to reinforce the opposite story. So what if we started taking a conscious approach to my identity, who I am, and stop letting the world, letting people, letting something outside of us, a bank account number or whatever number, to affect and decide who we are and how I choose to feel about myself and whether I'm worthy or good enough or attracting enough or slim enough or whatever enough. And what if you chose to create a story that best represents who you want to be and how you want to feel and how you want to express yourself? So let me know what you think about this amazing winning effect experiment, guys. You can change your life by changing your story. All you have to do is notice the old freaking stories, let them go, create a new story, live it, believe it, and see what happens. Let me know what you think down in the comment. And if you need help on your journey, guys, you can book a free coaching session with me down in the description, and together we can go and transform your life. Let's go. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you next time.